from Consulting Firm Ltd, and I'm going to be talking about today the role of manager. As you know, almost every company have 3 layers of management, like top level of management, middle level of management, and lower management. What is the role of top level of management? The role of top level of management is solely devoted to decision making and making strategy. They make strategy and make decision. How the company running well and how company will cope up with the future changing, environmental changing, business environmental changing, and technological changing. The top management always making decision and making strategic decision for the company. And the lower level management is duty is to starting from the submitting quotation to the client and getting order from the client and from the submitting quotation and they collect money from the customer. In between this process, they serving to the customer, and depending on the industry in which the company belongs, they serving different role. Like if it is industrial manufacturing company, they manufacture some product, and if it is service related company, they service provide to the customer. From the submitting quotation to collecting money, the lower level management doing various type of job. And for doing this type of job, they need the knowledge, skill, and experience relating to the industry in which they are working. If it is service related industry, then must have knowledge, experience, and skill relating to the service related industry. If it is the production related, they must have the production related skill, knowledge, and experience. As they are working in the production level, and they are always busy because their time is very limited, but have to work a lot of process. That's why they are become very busy. And to monitor the lower level management, the lower top one is one person, this is supervisor. This person monitor and supervise all of the processes from submitting quotation and collecting money from the customer. The supervisor lower management. And as you have seen that the top level management is decision making, and lower level management, they work from submitting quotation to collect money. They do the decision making and they generate profit. Then what is the role of middle level management? The role of middle level management is very important. As they belongs to middle of between two, their role is their role is to top management or also lower level management. And the middle level management is as we see, the lower level management have specific job description. They work according to their specific job description, but in the lower level management, they have no specific job description, and they work through the top level management and lower level management. While the working in the lower level management, they using their body only. But I want to share another idea that if it is related to the production level industry, the people who are working in lower level management, they only use their body. But if it is service related company, then who are working in the lower level management, they also have to use their brain. I think so. And the middle level management is only using their brain. How they are only using their brain? The important and main role of middle level management is bring changes in the company. And the question is how they bring change in the company. They bring change in the company by the way they proposing strategy to the top level management, how the company will cope up with the future changes and how the company cope up with the current changes. They propose strategy to the top level management, and they try to change the business who is currently doing to cope up the environment changes and to meet the customer demand. They always try to propose the strategy to the top level management. And how they bring change in the lower level management? They can bring change in the lower level management by developing new product line, and by developing the process which is currently existing. The main purpose of the developing the new product and new processes is to increase the productivity. Increase the productivity. Increase the productivity. The main concern when the mid-level management working with the lower level management, it is the increase of the productivity of the company. While they working with the top level management, their main concern is the proposing strategy to the top level management. And while they working with the lower level management, their main thinking should have the increase the productivity. And for doing this job, they only use their brain. And in this case, as they promoted to middle level management from the lower level management, they must have the skill, knowledge, and experience relating to the lower level management. And as they are prime concern regarding the lower level management to increase the productivity, sometimes they think that if the lower level management is not so much experience and have the knowledge and skill, they think that as their prime concern is increase the productivity, they sometimes think that they can do the work very short time, efficient way and productive way. So they think that if they work in lower level management for increasing productivity, they can highly evaluated in the company. And for this reason, sometimes they work higher than lower level management than top level management. They spend time and much than top level management to lower level management. And for this reason, actually, for the company, this is a trap, because the middle level management is prime duty is and first and foremost duty is to support the top level management for making and proposing strategic decisions for betterment of company in future. But if they spend much time in lower level management, they cannot allocate time to the thinking and analyzing the outside of the company and analyze the business environment. If they cannot analyze business environment, they cannot propose strategic decision to the top level management. And this is the trap that should company identify and eradicate this trap in order to develop the company in future. And this is the company structure of a well-established company, where the three levels of management can exist, but company cannot reach this position in a overnight. Their company have to pass through the life cycle. The company faces different life cycle, like introduction, growth, and maturity. Now I want to describe the role of middle level management depending on the life cycle in which stage the company belongs. Now I am going to discuss the company life cycle. As you know, the company, this represents the interaction, and this represents the growth stage, and this represents the maturity stage, and this is declining stage. What should be the role of manager in this introduction stage? As in introduction stage, there is no one level of management, and the only is founder and maybe one skilled person in this stage. So in this stage, the most important thing is making strategy and implement the strategy. If the strategy cannot do well, then change the strategy and implement the strategy. In this stage, the middle level of manager should act as entrepreneur. Because they have to make the strategy and also have to implement those strategy in this stage, because they are only the people who can make strategy and implement the strategy. We don't in those because they have no low level of management, and gradually the company is going to grow this stage. In this stage, the company making sales and generating profit. For this increasing sales, so company is starting to hire employee. To support the revenue generating process. For this, the person who was previously here, they move to the middle level of management. As they move to the middle level of management, the previous work which have done by those person generating profit, they hand over to the new employee. For generally new person, maybe inexperienced person. If the middle level management hand over to the new employee the production generating activity, maybe they have no skill, knowledge, and experience relating to the profit generating process. So the main role of the middle level of management in this stage to standardize the processes by which the revenue is making. Should standardize all the processes by the middle level of management in this stage, in the growth stage. The middle level of manager is most an important role is standardize all the processes in this stage, and gradually the company is going to maturity stage. What is the maturity stage? In this maturity stage, the company sales become increasing, and the company have lots of asset and lots of cash flow, and company have no problem in this stage. If the company or mid-level or top-level management satisfied with the current cash flow and current revenue, and they did not take any step to accelerate or longer lasting this maturity stage, the company can go to the decline stage. Because as any product or any services will not be exist in longer without its updating the features or without adding any new feature depending on the demand of the customer. As the demand of the customer is changing day by day because of dynamic business environment, their demand and their all the demand is changing day by day. For this reason, if the top level or middle level management cannot identify what the customer will want from this product or service, they fail to identify or fail to innovate something new and fail to provide the customer something new, then the company will face the declining process. So the most important role of the middle level of management in this maturity stage is to innovate something which will meet up the future customer demand. If fail to do this by the middle level of management, company will face the declining stage. And if as we see the many company, we see the bigger company, they face the declining stage because of in this stage they cannot identify the customer demand, future demand, and they cannot innovate something new in accordance with the customer demand in future, and they fail and face the declining stage. In this stage, as they cannot innovate something new, cannot add new features to the product or services, their cost of sales is increasing. Cost of sales is increased, but their as cost of goods is increased, their profit also decrease. So they are to sustain their profitability, the company can reduce their cost. If the company reduce their cost, it already meet their declining stage. Meet their declining stage. And the most important question is why company cannot innovate something in this stage? Why company cannot innovate something in this stage? The problem is, I can describe in another graph, that is almost all every company have their doing various job, and the job is may have urgent and important job, and in company the 95% of revenue come from the urgent job, and the 5% of revenue come from the important job. As the 95% of cash flow revenue come from the urgent job, the middle level management and lower level management fully concentrate to the 95% of revenue. For this reason, they postpone or they unconsciously try to they unconsciously they cannot concern to the important job, which will help the generating people in revenue in future. And as they only concentrate on this 95% generating 95% of revenue and on the urgent job, they just postpone the future development. This is related to the future development. As they postpone the future development in longer period of time or in future, they may lose the 95% of profit of revenue because they ignore or postpone the 5% of revenue, which is another called is future development. If they cannot develop their future, develop their product, and cannot innovate something, may in future may lose the 95% of profit if they cannot develop in this stage, if they cannot concentrate the 5% or important job which is related to the future development. So my message is that the middle level of management should perform or understand what roles he should have played in the different stages of company. If he face the introduction level, he should be like as entrepreneur. If he is in the growth stage, he should standardize all the processes of the company. And if he face the maturity stage, he should innovate something for the future. Thank you.